Welcome to OctoberFest 2021. Won't you join us?
We got our candy corn, we got coffee, we got biscuit. Hi, biscuit. And we are back to the Project Gen X podcast. I know I kind of got a little carried away there. Thank you for tuning in. We are in OctoberFest. We are in the most wonderful time of the year. And being that this is the most wonderful time of the year, of course, we are doing fall/horror, more horror themed than anything.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to start this one off talking about horror movies of the 90s.
Yes.
The 1980s was
the golden years.
The golden years of, I guess, really starting in 78.
Yeah.
You know, with Halloween, and then you know, right followed in the heels of Halloween was Friday the 13th.
Yep.
And then, you know, you get everything that came after that, you know, and we're going to talk about a couple of these things this year during OctoberFest, and but I thought it would be interesting to take a look back at the 90s, because I think, Dave, you said you had a little bit of trouble coming up with a list for this.
Yeah, because it seemed like the 90s were a little bit of a dry spot for decent horror movies.
I understand why people say that, but I disagree with it.
Okay.
Carly.
No.
Carly.
Get down. That's our candy corn.
The dogs have decided the candy corn is open. It's free to anybody.
No.
She's like, it's trick or treat, right?
No, that's my coffee.
All right.
Feed the dogs.
They've already been fed. Here you go, baby girl. There you go. That's funny. Doesn't surprise me. Okay, quick Carly story.
Okay.
But before we get into this, when she was, I don't know, she was probably 2 years old, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, this was my ex-wife and I were still together, you know, and we, I was making, my stepdaughter was at the house, and so I was going to make cookies, you know. So we had like that, you know, that cookie dough that's in the refrigerator, you know, it's in the refrigerator, you know, the Pillsbury, you know, stuff, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I got the cookie tray out, and I'm putting all the stuff on there, you know. And my son's mom called me into the living room for something, and I was like, yeah, you know, I was preheating the oven, you know,
yeah,
getting ready to cook, you know, to bake the cookies. And I heard something, and I turn around, and Carly is up, got her front paws up on the counter, eating all the cookie dough.
Oh, no.
I mean, like, all of it. I mean, as fast as she could. She was like, it was like, you could see that she's like, okay, I've only got so much time before they realize what's going on. And she ate all but like 3. And so I was like, you've got to be kidding. Of course, she just sits there. She looks at me with like this I have no regrets look whatsoever. So I had to go to the grocery store and buy some more and come back.
Yeah.
I know, baby girl. Yeah. She's like, I know what I want, and I just go for it. So, hey,
No.
Get down. I'm going to have to put the dogs up. Hang on just 1 second.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. And we're back. Sorry, I had to go put the dogs up because this is going to be a thing if not. And she decided that, hey, there's free candy. It's time to. She's like, it is the most wonderful time of the year.
And all these people that hate on candy corn,
I know, whatever.
I don't understand it.
I love candy. We were talking about that too. You know, candy corn. The reason that it tastes the way that it does is it is sweetened with honey.
Yep.
And I love that. Hey, give me something that's sweetened with honey or molasses or, you know, anything like that.
Molasses.
Yeah. I understand why people don't like it. Like, it may not be their favorite candy. But, yeah, all the people who just, like, hate on it are just, I don't get it. I like the little pumpkins more of those.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, so we were talking about the 1990s.
The 1990s and how they kind of was a dry spot for decent horror movies.
I disagree. We were getting into that. Like I said, you come off the 80s and this, you know, the slasher flicks and, and all this stuff, you know, that we think of.
Yeah.
And you're going into the 90s, and several of those franchises kind of, like, they ended A Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, Freddy's Dead came out in 91, and then, of course, they did The New Nightmare in 94, which I know you're not a big fan of that one, but I like it well enough. I think it's an interesting take on it.
I really like 3.
Yeah, you're going back to the 80s again. You know, Friday the 13th, you had Jason Goes to Hell in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And then it would be in the 2000s before we got Jason X, you know, and then their reboot, you know, and Freddy versus Jason, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the 90s, we had The Curse of Michael Myers. You know, that's a bad one.
That's not a great one.
You know, so it's one of those things that you had like all of these franchises that are winding down and not knowing what's next. But I found quite a few movies.
When you offered up this episode, you said list your favorite horror movies from the 90s.
That's fine.
And that's where I ran into the dry spot.
Fine. It's, you know, and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I actually had a little bit of a tough time whittling this down to 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I had, hold on. Let me see how many I've got.
Quite a few. I had quite a few.
I've got 12 and an honorable mention. And the movies I picked are only from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only from 6 of the years in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I have 16 movies total.
Really?
Yeah. And I could have kept going.
Well, that's...
Yeah, I mean, it's a...
I think it may also depend on what you refer...
I was going to say, we need to qualify because a lot of people consider, like... Silence of the Lambs a horror movie, and it's not.
No, that's a psychological thriller.
I have one on here that skirts the line, but I believe it's enough of a horror movie to.
I've got one on. I've got a horror comedy.
Okay.
And then I've got one that I feel like could be borderline, and we'll discuss the reasons why it's borderline.
Okay. I have two of them that are borderline. Okay, go. You want to start?
I only pulled 2 from 1990.
All right, so you went. I didn't put mine by night. I didn't put them, but I just threw them on here.
I did it by year.
Okay.
The first one I've got from 1990 is Jacob's Ladder.
Okay, I have that one also. That's one of them I said kind of skirts the line of whether or not it's a horror movie.
I think that's a pretty decent horror movie.
I agree. I consider it a horror movie. I always have. I love that movie, and it's a shame that they remade it.
Yeah.
And I did not even bother with the remake because that movie is this movie is damn near perfect.
You should not touch this movie. It's a great movie.
And it is a horror movie, but at the same time it's also, I don't want to go into too much spoilers here, but when you get to the end of it and you realize what it is, it's kind of...
it's got a twist.
Is it a horror movie or is it a psychological... Is it like just a psychological movie? You know, I mean, it's...
Just because it's psychological, though, does not mean that it's not full of horror.
Right, okay. I get that. So, Jacob's Ladder, definitely on my list of... okay.
What's your first one?
I'm just going ahead and put it out there because I know we both have it on our list.
Okay.
Scream.
Yes.
Okay.
That's from 1996.
And that, again, is one of those... When that was released in 90... Like, I didn't see the first Scream movie in theaters.
Really?
No.
Oh, I totally
Because
did.
I was, at that point... You know, that's... Think about this. In December, it'll be 25 years since that movie was released.
I know.
Okay? It was something that at the time I wasn't really as into horror movies as I was a decade prior, you know, basically, you know, type stuff.
Yeah.
And it was also one of those things that, like, I knew Wes Craven was involved with it, but you got to remember what the trailers for this thing was. It really didn't tell you anything, especially the television spots.
No, it didn't.
You had Drew Barrymore with a phone and a guy in a Halloween mask that I had seen all over the place, and I was like, "That's why are they using that mask rather than something new?" You know, and so I was kind of like, I don't understand what's going on here. And then I saw it when it hit video. People kept telling me, "No, dude, this thing is good."
Yeah, and very meta.
Yeah, and so when I finally did watch it, once it hit home video, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is awesome!" And I saw the rest of them in theaters. But it was that whole, because of it being meta, and because, of course, Wes Craven being one of the people who had, through the 70s and 80s had really cultivated horror, that how we defined horror movies. I was like, all right, and I love like all the references, of course, like you have Billy Loomis, of course, that's, the Dr. Loomis, and there's the whole...
The rules of the horror movie.
The rules of the horror movie. Yeah. You have the...
they have all the tropes.
Linda Blair shows up for just a very small amount of time, and then there's that whole scene where they're in the school, and Henry Winkler walks in, and there's a guy dressed like Freddy that's the janitor,
Well, that was Wes Craven.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things that he's got the stripe, and everything, and it's like, okay, this is cool. I like what they're doing here. Okay, but they also put together a really good movie around not just being like this very
and a decent soundtrack.
Yeah, and the soundtrack's great for it. So and really revitalized what would come after that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
For good or bad, because there's some good and there's some really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew Scream was going to be on both of our lists.
And just as a little teaser, they're making another one.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to come out in January, I think. Either January or February.
Like
and I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do, because I liked Scream 4. I thought Scream 4 was really good. I liked the way that they rebooted it and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, this makes perfect sense. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, what's your next one?
Let me borrow that pen over there. That way I can kind of scratch things off as we go. Yes, I'm back on paper.
And I'm back to my phone. So we switched from an earlier episode.
Yeah. So, okay, I did Jacob's Ladder. You did Scream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to 1990.
Okay.
Flatliners.
Okay.
You have a problem with that choice, don't you?
I'm not sure that's a horror movie.
You sure that's not a horror movie?
I'm not sure that's a horror movie. I get why some people would think that it is, but again, it goes back to the whole, is it a horror movie? Is it a psychological thriller? Is it a what?
I mean, it walks the borderline of that
very
supernatural, they died, they purposely killed themselves and got brought back. The question is, what did they bring back with them?
Right, and I get that. I just... Okay, it's a decent movie. Again, another movie they remade that shouldn't have.
Yeah, they shouldn't have touched that one. Because that was a good one.
Now, I'll be honest, I have not seen that movie in a long time.
Really?
I like the movie, but I just haven't seen it. I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
No, I
so
understand that. Yeah.
Of course, you always got the classic opening line. Well, it's a good day to die.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the thing that was kind of their real catchphrase there for a while. So,
and you've also got to remember everybody that was in this thing.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Julia Roberts. You had Kiefer Sutherland. You had who was the other one? I'm
trying to pull it up now. You had Kiefer Sutherland. You had Julia Roberts. You had William Baldwin. You had Oliver Platt. You had Kevin Bacon.
That's who. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got a Baldwin brother and Oliver Platt.
What was it? Was Jason Patrick in that also? Am I wrong about that? Maybe I'm wrong about that one.
I'm looking. I don't see his name.
Okay. Then I'm thinking of something different. Then so okay.
Listed.
But yeah, Sutherland and Julia Roberts and Kevin Bacon in 1990. That was just a all-star cast.
And back then, you couldn't have a movie unless you had one of the minor Baldwin brothers.
Yeah, exactly. One of the Baldwin brothers had to wind up in it. Whether it was William or Billy, or whether it was William or who's the other one? Who's the other one?
They're all from
I know. Well, there's Daniel. There's you got Alec. You got Daniel. You got William, and then you have who's the youngest one?
He was the one that was on that Western that was on TV.
Yeah, it was on the Young Riders. I can't remember his name.
Anyways,
all the Baldwin brothers. So, Flatliners. Okay,
what you got next?
All right, my number. Well, since I have others I can substitute in here, we'll go with now. All right, another one I'm sure that's on both of our lists. Candyman.
Yes.
Okay.
1992.
1992, Candyman.
The introduction of one of the legendary. I put him up there with Jason.
Oh, really?
I put Candyman up there with Jason and Freddy and Michael.
Okay. So this first Candyman movie is really good. Like I remember watching it back when it was released and thinking, "Wow, this is really good. I really like what they're doing here." And then I saw Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh, which is the second.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's okay.
They expand more on the mythos. You know, it's not set in Chicago any longer. We're in Louisiana now, and it's
basically what happens with Candyman 2 is what happens with the rest of the serial slasher flick movies, is that they progressively get worse as you add.
And by the time you get to 3,
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
3 is either going to be really good or it's going to
terrible.
Completely suck.
Candyman 3, which was it Day of the Dead? Is that the name of it?
Something like that, yeah, not
it's
good.
It's bad. It is real. Like, I couldn't finish watching it. It was so bad.
You've seen the new Candyman.
I have seen the new Candyman.
I haven't had a chance to go watch it yet.
And it is... I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Like, I was like, okay, cool. It has enough... It's referential to the original. It kind of ignores 2 and 3.
Good.
Completely. It's referential enough to the first one without hitting you over the head of like, oh, hey, you remember this? Hey, you remember this?
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, this is cool that it's remembering where it came from without without being. And
really, the first really great horror movie to happen within inner city,
right? And see, that's the whole thing. Is that first one happens? It's in Southside Chicago in the Cabrini Green projects, government housing. Excuse me. But it's one of those things that you get through all that, and then you, like I said, you get into the other movies, and it just gets completely away from there.
Yeah.
Whereas this one comes back to Chicago.
I mean, Michael.
And the thing is, like, you realize that Chicago's changed in 30 years.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the whole, like, if you've been to Chicago in the last decade or so, it's one of those things that the Cabrini Green housing projects are no longer there.
Yeah.
And they've completely gentrified the south side of the city, and it's been like, it's kind of like most cities around now, like big cities where this kind of stuff, so they're kind of pushing out the people who had been there for decades and everything.
Yeah.
And it deals with that.
But I mean, you've got Michael, which is suburbs.
Yeah.
You've got Freddy, which is suburbs.
You got Jason, which is rural, yeah.
Jason, which is full-on country.
Right.
I mean, he's out in the middle of the country
right.
at a camp.
Right. And then you got Candyman, which is inner city.
Yeah.
So, that's true. And then you got Leprechaun.
But with Candyman, I mean, you get a completely different storyline. You get a different perspective.
Right.
I mean, it's
and
it's
like
a great
I said,
movie.
when you get into the new Candyman,
yeah,
it gives you an even better, a broader perspective on all of that stuff.
Nice.
Of how Tony Todd's Candyman was the original Candyman, but you start seeing that, like, no, there were more over time, and it's like how legends can co-opt into something else. It's like, yeah, it's really,
nice
it
twist.
is. It really is a nice. The way that they did it is really. They did a good job.
Yeah,
they did a real good job with it. So, okay, what's your next one?
My next one is actually a horror comedy.
Okay,
and it's the third in the series.
Okay,
it's Army of Darkness.
Okay, so I didn't put that one on here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit. We'll get into it.
You've got the original Army of Darkness, which. Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Sorry, you're correct.
Yeah.
Which was a student film,
right?
And they did a release on it. It did really. You got Evil Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead 2 kind of goes further with that storyline,
right?
And you see the main character get sucked down a vortex,
right?
Well, in Army of Darkness, which is really Evil Dead 3,
yes,
you see where he ended up at the end of that vortex, and that's where things take a turn for the weird,
yes,
which is saying something.
That is, and Army of Darkness is one of those movies that it is. I do too, and it's a sequel. It is the third movie in a franchise that you honestly could just pick up out of the franchise and set it down somewhere else,
and it stands
and just
alone.
completely, yeah. there's a few things you'll be like, so how did this happen? And you're like, okay, yeah, you can go back and watch this, but you really don't need to because it's its own thing.
Yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah,
I loved the TV series Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I need to watch that one of these days.
That's actually pretty good because you've got old, washed-up Ash picking up from the Army of Darkness character.
Yeah.
Hail to the king, baby.
There you go. All right, let's see. Where am I going to go here with my next? Okay, here we go. Demon Knight.
I left that one off my list because I had a feeling...
Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight.
I actually enjoyed all three of the Tales of the Crypt movies.
I have not seen the third one. I have seen Bordello of Blood was the second one.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one as much. It was
Dennis Miller.
How could
you not love that?
It wasn't as good as Demon Knight. I really enjoyed Demon Knight. I thought it was another great soundtrack on top of it all. This Demon Knight, Billy Zane,
yes,
as
yes,
as the bad guy, as the demon in question. It's really, and it's one of those things that, again, the Tales from the Crypt part of it, you get the Crypt Keeper on the front and the end, and it's like, okay, yeah. But you could have taken that off of it, and it still would have been a good movie standalone.
I agree.
So, and that it's also a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun.
Well,
on top
all of the
it all.
Tales from the Crypt movies were a lot of fun.
Just
I know you didn't like Bordello.
I just did not like Bordello of Blood.
I enjoyed it.
I saw what they were trying to do with Bordello of Blood, but it just didn't land for me.
Okay.
So, but Dennis Miller was good in it. It was he's been Dennis Miller, So.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
I'm going to skip the next one I've got because I've got a feeling you've got it on your list also. I'm going to go to my questionable one, the one that's borderline, and that's Event Horizon.
I see why. Okay.
I saw this thing in the theater.
It is a horror movie in space.
Yes, that's what it is.
It is. It's kind of like Alien. Alien is a horror movie in space.
Well, I didn't put any of the Alien movies in it because I consider...
but they're sci-fi by the time you get to the 90s.
They're sci-fi, yeah. But Event Horizon legitimately was trying to be a horror movie in space. And depending on where you fall on the line, you either agree or disagree that they did it. Now, I will say this movie scared the crap out of me, but me and a buddy went to go see it on a matinee. Mm-hmm. We were the only two in the theater. And a third buddy of ours, when he realized that we were sitting in the theater, he was working as a projectionist, actually went in and turned the volume up on the theater. So every little ding, creak, everything was just a little bit more.
Event Horizon, I think where it falls short for me is the ending.
I can agree with that.
But up until that point, they do a really good job of it being a haunted house in space.
Yes.
Is basically what it comes down to. And some of the CG doesn't hold up over time, but you're right. But it is also one of those things that they did a wonderful, like the sound they did was spectacular.
The sound design on that movie was just phenomenal.
It just kind of, I don't know. That might be one that I need to go back and rewatch again because it's kind of come along over in the last 25-ish years or however long it's been of people starting to try to reclaim it, hey, maybe we need to go back and look at this again and see, because it didn't do well at all at the time.
I was one of those that I was actually going around telling people, you need to go see this movie. You really need to go see this movie. And it just never caught on.
Don't get me wrong. It's not in it would definitely not be in the worst movies, horror movies of the 90s.
No.
It's nowhere near like the Ninth Gate or something like that. But it's
Did you really just pull out the Ninth Gate?
I did, because that was so disappointed in that movie.
Yeah.
You got Johnny Depp and Roman Polanski. This is going to be good. No, it was crap from beginning to end. Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed Event Horizon from the first time I saw it, and I've seen it several times since then.
Okay.
Actually, I can't believe that I don't own a copy of it.
Hey, I'm surprised myself.
Yeah.
So.
What's your next one?
I know I keep hitting all these that I'm sure you have on your list, but...
Yeah, my list is going...
1999. Do you have 99 on yours?
I do have 99. I have two from 99.
Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
Blair Witch Project... Blair Witch Project's a great movie. Unfortunately, it gave us the found footage genre.
That's true. Well, this wasn't just a great movie; it was also a great marketing.
The marketing on this thing was amazing.
Yeah, this started a whole brand new style of marketing.
Very much did, and
the first one to really use the internet to its full capability.
Yeah, because I remember going to their website, and looking at all of the quote unquote evidence of stuff that was on there.
Is this real?
I know, and like it very much skirted that line of okay, I know it's a movie, but they went into a lot of detail that you had not seen prior.
It's like, is this a documentary?
Yeah,
is this a film?
Because it's presented as a documentary, but and then like I said, you go to their website, and all of the quote evidence that they had on there was like, man, they really went all out on this thing, and I was just like, man, and then going and seeing the movie, of course, it's one of those things that they had, because of so much of that, they had to get them to go and do interviews of like, no, we're not dead.
Yeah,
this is a movie. This is So, but yeah, such a good, and it holds up. I don't care what anybody says.
It holds up. I mean, it was literally.
Now it is a little bit these days watching it. It is that whole, I've seen this so many times. Like, but you have to remember, this is the first one to do it,
right?
So.
And they literally they shot it themselves. It was what, a 16. It was shot on Super 16, some kind of video recorder. And I think it was a Nagra audio recorder.
And they just kind of went out and like, okay.
Went out and like, shoot it.
And, unlike some other found footage stuff, there's not a disingenuous moment in this, where like...
Well, no, they were literally terrifying the actors as they went along.
But, it's like with some other movies, it's like, oh, that acting is really bad here.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not how somebody would react. And of course, the question has been, well, why are you still holding onto the camera? Why are you still, all right, I get that. But at the same time, I'm like, I get why you would, because this is my only lifeline to the outside.
Well,
and
you'd hold on to it because you actually are getting some interesting stuff. No matter how terrified you are, you're actually getting proof of something going on. 2, if something happens to you, you're hoping somebody will find the stuff and come look for you.
Right.
3, if you make it out of this thing alive and you haven't recorded all of this,
nobody's going to believe you.
Nobody's going to believe you.
Exactly.
So, as somebody who went to school for broadcasting, television, video production, those are the 3 main reasons. Like, I can't believe I'm getting this.
Oh, I know.
I hope I live through this. I can't wait to show this to somebody.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do you got next?
I actually can't believe you haven't hit this one yet.
Okay.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I do not have that on mine.
Really?
I do like that movie.
That's a fun movie. That's part of the Scooby Gang collection of 90s horror movies.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
It's the Hook Man all over.
Oh, yeah. Well, so many of the... And like I said, this is one of, like, probably the first major post-Scream...
Yeah.
And I have actually 2 of those movies on my list.
I'm guessing Urban Legend is one of those.
Urban Legend is...
Because I'm not a big fan of that one, and I like know that one.
So, but, yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer is... I really like that movie.
Yeah.
That is... I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is terrible.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's horrible. Even though they brought back, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt, it is terrible. But yeah, that one, I liked it. Again, good soundtrack. But it's one of those things where, you got the Hook Man, Urban Legend, and everything. And they put their own spin on it and, and all that stuff. And I really enjoyed it. It just didn't make my top 10, basically. That's what it comes down to.
I can see that.
Since we mentioned it, Urban Legend is on mine. Came out a year and a half after I Know What You Did Last Summer. Another one of those, we're going to... Who are the hot young actors right now? We're going to pull them in. So you've got Alicia Witt and Rebecca Gayheart, and
I forgot she was in that.
this was the first time that Tara Reid came on my radar, because this was post Lebowski but pre American Pie.
Yeah.
But I was just like, hey, who is this? You know, that was like, you had what's his name, Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, is in the movie. Joshua Jackson has got a small role in it from Dawson's Creek. I'm trying to think who else is in. Robert Englund is in the movie.
Yes,
you had Natasha Gregson Wagner was in the movie. That's what's her name? Natalie Wood's daughter.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, like, you go through and you have all of this stuff that it's at, and who else? There's somebody else in it too. I don't remember what is it, but I like the way that some of the quote. Danielle Harris is in the movie as well. She's the roommate at the very beginning, the goth girl.
I had forgotten about that.
So it's one of those things. You start looking through all of the basically the horror pedigree that's there with all of these people, but. And it really does point out a lot of the stupid things that people will believe, and then they talk about all the different ones. You got the Pop Rocks and the Coke. You've got the
Pepsi,
whatever it is,
Pop Rocks
Mikey,
and Pepsi.
And they pointed out, the Mikey from the Life cereal, that was the rumor about him forever. You have, they point out, they do the whole, the woman trying to dry her dog off in the microwave. At one point they're listening to the Ohio Players Love Roller Coaster, and the rumor was that the screams that are in that was where they brought a woman in there was an urban legend about this, so they actually killed somebody in the studio to get that scream. It's like they touch on all this stuff that you had heard for years and years and years and years and years, and then kind of like twisted it a little bit, so I enjoy it. It's not a great movie. Okay, I admit that.
No.
It is not a great movie, but I can sit down and watch it right now. So that's why it's on mine. So.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Yours is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Mine's Urban Legend. So
I bet I know what your other Scooby Gang horror movie is.
We'll see. What's your next one?
My next one is, I'm going to go out of order here a little bit. My next one is Idle Hands from '99.
Okay.
I love this movie. It's a fun movie.
I like this movie also, but it's not a horror movie. It's a comedy. It's not a horror movie.
It's a horror comedy. I like those as much as I've actually got two horror comedies on my list.
One of the things I love about this movie is that the whole way that they're like, the reason that they win is because they smoke pot.
You bring that up every time.
It is. It's like, it's one of those like, so the way to beat this is you just smoke pot.
Oh, good grief.
But yeah, I had a very young Jessica Alba.
Yep.
Had the
Seth Green,
the guy from that plays that's in the Daredevil series that plays
Foggy.
Yeah,
I can't.
Who's
think
been
of
in a
his
ton
name.
of stuff.
Oh yeah, he is.
But yeah, I mean, it's I'm trying to think who there's someone. What was the main guy? I can't remember what the main guy's name was.
I don't remember either.
Because wasn't he in Final Destination also?
I believe so.
Yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah. So I mean, it's a fun movie. It is. I wouldn't have put it on here as a horror movie for me. So yeah.
No, I get it.
But yeah, good fun movie. All right, are you done?
No, I'm not done.
Okay. All right, fine. I'll go to my other, as you call it, the Scooby Gang.
I think I can name it.
Halloween H2O.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You went with that one. Okay.
Yes. Because this was Kevin Williamson who wrote Scream.
Yeah.
And created Dawson's Creek and wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And did a whole bunch of that stuff. This
is a Halloween movie that gets ignored in the new canon.
Well, except for one, all of them are getting ignored. No, it's one.
3's not getting ignored.
Well, hold on. We'll see about that. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Halloween Kills. Okay, we're going to review that this year when it's released. I know that the Silver Shamrock masks show up in that in
Yes,
that
they
trailer,
do.
and I think that's just a
Yes, they
nod
do.
to hey.
But that's not ignoring it.
Well,
if they're acknowledging that Silver
but
Shamrock exists in that universe, they're not ignoring.
Then okay,
it.
fine. If that's the case, then fine. 3 isn't ignored, but 2, 4, 5, 6, and H2O and Resurrection are all ignored.
I've always said that 2 isn't really a second movie. It's just a continuation of the first one. It may be,
but the thing is that was completely ignored in the reboot. Like it literally goes from, well,
not really,
it? Because
not really.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the 2018 Halloween again.
Yeah,
because even when I was watching it when it was in the theaters, I was like, okay, I see what they're basically ignoring all this stuff, but are they ignoring 2? And there's not a definitive answer to that, because like at the end of 1, he's just gone. You know, it's like he fell out the window, and then they go and look, and he's gone again. So you know that he had to have been captured for the 2018 movie to have happened, which even at the end of Halloween 2, he's not captured. He's set on fire. And so it's so it's kind of I think it's more of a Halloween, the 1978 Halloween happened, and then something small happened next for him to be captured and put into the home.
Yeah.
And then the 2018 movie happens 40 years later or whatever, you know.
Which him being burned, if him being burned didn't kill him, if they put him out, that might be the way they caught him to put him back in the home.
Yeah, I know, but it's still not. It's not definitive. That, anyways. So basically, what they did, you know, this Halloween H2O was the 3rd reboot of the franchise.
Yeah,
I guess. Well, it was the 3rd reboot of the franchise, because Season of the Witch came out, and it was supposed to be something completely different, and it is. And then when Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, was released, they went back to that, which became the 2nd reboot, became the 1st reboot, I guess I should say. Actually, it's the 2nd reboot after Season of the Witch. And so they were like, okay, well, we're going to continue with this Michael Myers thing, but we can't get Jamie Lee Curtis back, so we're going to say that she had a daughter and then she was killed in a car wreck.
Yeah.
And so they're following, you know, Jamie, which is Daniel Harris's character, you know, for 2 movies, actually 3 movies. Yep. Because even though they didn't bring her back for The Curse of Michael Myers, that character is in the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
So it's like they follow that, and then Halloween H2O was still in continuity with everything else.
Yeah.
Even though the one big thing that they ignored was Jamie, was her daughter. You know, because in H2O she had a son.
Yeah.
But she had faked her death, which explains because you see that in the very beginning of Halloween 4, there's a newspaper article showing where she was killed in a car wreck, you know, and all this kind of stuff. So it's one of those things that, you know, we find out that she had faked her death years prior to avoid all this, but then Michael Myers escapes again and finds out where she is and comes after her. That's the whole H2O, is because it was 20 years later, came out in 1998.
Yeah. It's like he can smell her scent or something.
Yeah, you know, and then
Bloodhound thing.
We won't even talk about Resurrection, because that's not even worth talking about.
Not really.
And then, you know, we got the Rob Zombie reboots, which I enjoy.
Which everybody hates on.
I enjoy.
But I enjoy the 2 Rob Zombie.
I enjoy
Halloween
the first
movies.
one. The second one is a mess.
If you take them as a standalone piece.
Yeah, take them away from everything else. It's I get that. And then we get the 2018, which it basically ignores everything that happened, you know, except for the very first one. But I really enjoyed this. Again, you had Kevin Williamson, who wrote this, who had done all this other stuff. So he really did kind of like give it that post-Scream teen horror thing, you know, that was going on. But it's not like overly. It's still very much a Halloween movie.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anyway, now that we've talked way too much about all that, what's your next one?
I'm going back to 1997.
Okay.
An American Werewolf in Paris.
I have not seen that movie since it was released.
Really?
I enjoyed it initially. I really like Tom Everett Scott.
Yes.
People forget Julie Bowen is in this.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
and so was Julie Delpy.
Yeah. I enjoyed the special effects and the special effect.
That CG has not held up.
No, it hasn't held up.
All.
But it kind of adds to a cheesiness that
I guess
I like it.
I couldn't.
It takes me back to a time.
I also am not a huge fan of the American Werewolf in London. So I mean that's
really.
I don't like the way they do the mythology of the werewolves in it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
More than anything else, that's the kind of mind that he's easily killed, and the body's following him around and everything. I'm just kind of like,
okay.
I don't particularly like that. The movie itself, of course, the special effects are freaking amazing in that. The Rick Baker stuff.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I didn't even really stop on that one at all.
I'm a sucker for anything that's werewolf.
Fair enough. And I like a good werewolf movie. I really do. And the thing is, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of them.
No, there's really, you get more vampire and Dracula.
Right.
And I enjoy those. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I like the vampire stuff. But if you can give me a good werewolf movie, mm-hmm. Like The Howling.
Right.
Or in, this. I mean, I even I have a soft spot in my heart for the
Ginger Snaps. Did you ever watch Ginger Snaps?
No, I don't think I've seen
you need
that
to
one.
see that movie.
What was the
That's
one with Kate
werewolf.
Beckinsale, the vampires versus
Underworld.
Underworld's
not bad.
I like the Underworld series.
I like the first one. I loved the second one.
Yes.
The third one, I was like,
well, they had to go back and tell the origins.
And then they came back with them again, and blah blah blah. But it's like those first two Underworld movies, really, in my opinion, are really good.
But I'm a sucker for.
You need to check out Ginger Snaps.
Okay.
That I haven't seen beyond the first one, but that first one is a really nice take on the werewolf mythology. So.
But yeah, I've got an American Werewolf in Paris on my list.
Okay. So it's down to me again. Huh?
Yeah, it's back to you.
All right, here we go.
It's like the most demented game of ping pong
1999. Stir of Echoes.
Really?
Yes.
You liked that one?
I did like that movie.
That one was just kind of okay for me.
And I know it's kind of... It's a horror movie, but it's kind of not a horror movie also. But, Kevin Bacon, what's her name? Ileana... I can't remember what her name is.
That's the one where
Ileana Douglas, that's her name.
Where he gets... Is it the one where he gets hypnotized and it flips the switch and all that?
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. It's definitely an interesting take on something. And it also feeds into that... We've kind of talked about this before, that like premillennial, like there was that and End of Days and Stigmata and Ninth Gate came out that year. There were all these movies like there were like these horror movies that like really had like a finale. Like it's like, no, something big is getting ready to happen. We just didn't know it was going to happen maybe 2 more years before it happened. But it was kind of this whole, But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It's definitely a little bit different from the rest of the stuff I have on here. But anyways, go on. What's your next one?
And hold on, I'm having to look something up here.
Go with another one.
I'll do this.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and go with another one because you've got more on your list than I do.
1998. This is one a lot of people have forgotten about. But
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a great horror, and it is a horror movie.
I'm guessing this is another one of your Scooby gangs, and it's one we've already done an episode on.
No, neither one of them.
Oh, you're probably getting ready to steal from me.
Fallen. Denzel Washington. Have you not seen Fallen?
I don't know that I have.
Okay, so Denzel Washington is I think he's a private investigator, or police. I can't remember if he's a police officer, private investigator, something like that. He's investigating these killings,
Yeah.
And what it comes down to is that there is a demon that is possessing people, to
is this
kill
one
people.
where the main song in it is
Time is on my side.
Okay, yeah,
and like
I do
basically what it is, he's
remember this,
jumping
yeah.
from body to body to body to body.
He's a body jumper, yeah.
And it's a good movie. Like it's one of those that like people have kind of forgotten about, but it's like, oh no, this is really good. So
Yeah.
go ahead. What's your next one?
I've got the wrong year here. I'm having a hard time. My tablet is not. I've had to go to the tablet for something. Here.
We're coming into modern technology.
Okay, so I'll skip the one that I'm looking for to give me more time, and I'm gonna go with it's out of '98. It's one I'm surprised you haven't mentioned yet.
Okay.
The Faculty.
Okay, there's a reason I did not put The Faculty on this.
You consider it more of an
It's
alien.
a sci-fi movie. It's not a horror. It's because it's an invasion of the body snatchers.
Okay.
That is a. We did an episode about it, and I guess that's one you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
I love the movie. I love the movie, and it does definitely have some horror elements to it because of the whole invasion of the body snatchers type thing. But it really, I consider it more of a sci-fi.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I didn't put it on mine. But yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah, go back and listen to our episode about The Faculty. That because we did a pretty in-depth.
We did a deep dive on it.
Dive into it. So, did you find your other one?
I do, and it's the last one on my list.
Okay.
Written by a rock star, starred in
Strangeland. I almost put that one on here, and then I was like, is it one of my favorites? Is it one of my, it's
one of my guilty favorites.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure movies. In fact, I used.
Did I give you the VHS of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you did. I actually used Dee Snider's song off of this movie as an intro for my metal show at one point. And I had it interspersed with some other movie clips and all that.
Okay.
But it's basically about a psychopath that is very big into modern primitive subculture, which is basically transcendence through pain.
Right.
And
it's also an early internet horror movie because they're using AOL chat rooms to find his victims.
Which is another reason why I love this movie
because
I grew up in the AOL chat rooms. And you can see something like this happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's because they go through the whole thing in the beginning of it of like, no, all you got to do is, if you're looking for this person, just change your preference, like, what you're into and, and all this kind of stuff. Like, you can change your name and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, or your age, I guess it was, because they figured out he was killing people between certain ages. And so it was all of a sudden, then that's how they got his attention,
in every conversation you ever had, it was
age, sex, location. Yep.
ASL.
Right.
ASL. You always posted ASL.
Right. And then people would start putting their age and their sex and their location. Like you would start seeing it just popping up all over the place. Yeah. I know. That's early internet stuff.
Oh,
it's
But it's not a great movie. It really is not a great movie. Dee Snider is not a good actor.
No. And it also is very the way that they take him out of the movie and then put him back into the movie is very what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, what happens is he's caught, and then they put him on. They put him on psychotropic.
They put him in an actual psych ward.
Right, but then they get him on medication, and he turns his life around. He's apologetic for everything he did. Blah blah blah, and then he misses one dose of his medication, and he's back out into it again. And it's
which did not help the mental health industry at all.
That's not how that works. Okay, it's like,
but it kind of makes you question the psychotropics.
Yeah, I know. I have one more on my list proper.
Yeah,
The Frighteners.
It has been so long since I've seen that movie that I couldn't remember enough of it.
This was Peter Jackson.
Put it on a list.
This is Peter Jackson's movie. It's got Michael J. Fox. R. Lee Ermey is in it. Basically, what it is, Michael J. Fox is an exorcist.
Yeah,
but you find out that when he goes in to like get rid of these ghosts in these houses and stuff.
Yeah.
He's actually friends with all of them, so they're running a scam to,
I had forgotten.
Yeah,
that,
you know, so and that's but then there's like this more malevolent spirit that gets involved, and they start having, he starts killing the ghost, which kills them for real, type stuff. But that's the whole like beginning of the movie, is that he goes into like as a quote unquote Ghostbuster, but he's like in league with all, they're like, oh yeah, that was a good one, type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's but that was a pretty good movie, because it's one of those things you get first, you're like, oh, this is a comedy, and it's like, oh no, this is a horror movie. This is a horror movie when it comes down to it. You said you had some.
I had one honorable mention.
Okay.
And I think it's back in either 90 or 91, and it's Bride of Reanimator.
Okay, that was in 91, I believe.
I remember seeing Reanimator.
Reanimator is awesome. That movie is awesome.
And the first place I actually saw it was a USA Up All Night movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? This is awesome. And we were in Blockbuster one night, and I found it sitting on the shelf. I was like, no way. And then I realized exactly how wild that movie is.
What you saw on USA Up All Night was not the same movie.
No, it was not. That thing was heavily edited.
Yes, it was.
And so, yeah.
So those are your own. That's your only.
That's my only honorable mention.
I have 6 honorable mentions here.
It doesn't surprise me.
The first one is from 1994. It's called Cemetery Man.
Didn't see it.
Okay. Basically, it's a British movie. Okay. I think it's a British movie. Basically, what it is, it's about this guy who literally, like, there is a town where the dead this one cemetery, the dead keep rising. So they've basically hired him to keep the zombies from getting into the town. So he like lives there, type stuff. And it's a good movie. It's a very interesting, like, oh, this is an interesting take on all of this, his, because he's just kind of trying to go through his regular everyday life, and then all of a sudden,
zombies.
There's a zombie, and then he'll like stop what he's doing and going out and like, hit it in the head and then come back in, and it's just like that
sounds like more of a comedy.
It's not a comedy though. It is not. It does sound like a comedy, but it's not a comedy because it's not played for laughs at all. It's played very serious, of like, all right, I got to go take care of this. I'll be right back. And then
because you could totally see that being
absolutely
played
for a
laugh.
But it's not okay.
He's busy ironing and watching the tube, and so he's like, oh crap,
right. And there's a little bit of that in there, but it's still. I mean, there are some funny moments, but it's not played for comedy. Let's put it that way. My next one is another movie. I think it's from 90 or 91. It's called Split Second.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this one? Rutger Hauer. And it's got Kim Cattrall in it also.
Okay.
It's set in a future where I think the ice caps have melted, and so everything is wet. Like there's water everywhere.
Okay.
It's like, so everywhere you go, I mean, there's water. There's water in the streets. There's water. Just kind of one of those things. And Rutger Hauer is tracking down this killer. Like somebody is like they think it's a serial killer. Come to find out, it's a monster that's running through the town, killing people. And it's actually really it's like I said, it's set in the future. It's got some future tech and that kind of stuff. It's one of those movies that, again, I'm kind of like, I need to go back and watch this, because I remember like seeing it several times in the early 90s, being like, man, this is really good. And it was one of those things that discovered it on video, of like, my mom rented it.
Really?
We've talked about before how my mom loves this kind of stuff, and she watched it. She's like, "You need to watch this." It's like, "All right, I'll get around." She's like, "No, seriously, you need to watch it." So I want to watch it. I was like, "Man, this is really good." So, matter of fact, I think she still has a copy of it on DVD. So if I'm not mistaken,
it's so crazy.
My mom
that
is
your
so
mom is like the horror movie.
She
person
is,
with your
and she
family.
hates that stuff too. It's like she cannot abide Freddy or Jason or something like that. But then she loves Tremors and Split Second and the Frighteners and all this kind of stuff. And
Tremors
it's just,
is not a horror movie.
I know.
But they listed it in a lot of places where I've seen the horror movie release list.
I know.
But Tremors is such a fun movie.
Okay, my next one is the movie Body Snatchers from 1990. It was a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. It's got Gabrielle Anwar, and I forget who else is in it, but it's one of those things where this was kind of interesting because it all takes place on a military base. Yeah. And I know. Have you seen this version of it?
Yes.
You didn't like it?
You got to understand that I grew up watching the original
right
60s
and the
version.
1970s version of it is good as well.
You know, I didn't care for that one as much.
Oh, really?
I still think it's better than this one.
Okay, fair enough.
But that was Donald Sutherland.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so my next one is Bride of Chucky.
Fun, but not great.
Yeah, and the thing is, I put it over 2 and 3, which were both released in the 90s. Because, well, let's be honest, 2 and 3 are not that good. Especially when you get to 3, it's just really not good.
No.
But that was kind of an interesting... Okay, we're going to have another one. And who better than Jennifer Tilly?
Absolutely.
To play Tiffany. I mean, come on. You could not have... That's stunt casting if I've ever seen it, okay? It's just like,
yeah. No, and that I don't really consider that a horror movie.
I get it.
That is a dysfunctional couples movie.
Oh, I get it. So, come on. You got to love the... Hey, Chucky, you got a rubber? My whole body's made of rubber, babe.
Oh. Actually tried to forget that moment ever happened.
I have 2 more here, and I think we're going to probably have some discussion about these.
You're saying we're about to have a fight, aren't you?
From Dusk Till Dawn. There's a reason I did not put it on the list proper. Because half of that movie is a Criminals on the Run movie, and half of that movie is a horror movie. And it's like
with a really wild twist.
Yes,
at the end.
it does. And
I saw that in the stuff that was released in the 90s. I fought with myself over whether or not to put that on the list.
I really wanted to, but it's not enough of a horror movie.
It's a vampire movie.
Right. It's like, okay, I never even once considered putting Interview with a Vampire on here.
No.
Because yes, it's about vampires, but it is not a horror movie.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. It is a drama.
Yes.
I mean, it's a family drama on top of it all.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
So. But From Dusk Till Dawn really skirts that line of this could be, but I couldn't bring myself to put it on the list properly.
No, absolutely not.
I bumped this last one for Jacob's Ladder.
Okay.
The Exorcist 3.
No, this is not a good movie.
I disagree with you on
this
that.
is not a good movie.
I disagree with you
and
on
it's
that.
not really. It's not really
funny,
a horror movie.
It's funny, and the reason why I didn't put it on here, I had it originally, and then I took it. Didn't have any problems taking it off because it originally was not an Exorcist movie, and then they decided to make it an Exorcist movie. And it's more of a psychological thriller than it is anything else.
Absolutely.
You know, that's a. But it's better than 2. I can tell you that much.
Just because it's better than 2 does not make it a good movie.
It's better than any of the, except for the original. It's better than all the rest of them.
Agreed.
You know, it's the second best Exorcist movie. So
yeah, which doesn't make it.
Yeah, okay.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah,
you know.
So, but those are my. You know what I'm trying to say. My brains are. I guess I have not ingested enough coffee yet.
No, you need more coffee.
Yeah.
So that's us running through our list of favorite 90s horror movies.
Yeah, as well as some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Or some dishonorable mentions in some cases, I guess. But yeah, that's like Dave said, that is our 90s horror movies list. If you have questions, comments, whatever, feel free to...
Guys, we would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this for 2 years.
This is our third year now.
This is our third year, and we've only heard from like a handful of y'all.
And
we would love to actually, talk with you, correspond. Come over to the Discord server and hang out with us.
I was ready to say, if you look in the show notes, there's links to everything. But yeah, we're on Discord, Instagram. You can get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us through Facebook. Our email address is there.
Yep.
You can actually, if you're following us on anything and you may write a comment, we're going to see that there's comments, and we'll go in. I go through and look at them every once in a while just to kind of see what's going on.
Alan mainly looks after the main Instagram page, which is the Project Gen X Pod Instagram.
Right.
I have my own Instagram, Big Dave X Pod,
and Dave takes care of the Facebook page,
and I take care of most of the Facebook page, which I'm trying to do better about because we ended up with we have a new subscriber over on Facebook. So thank you for going over there and keeping that page alive and well.
It's slow but growing. So but yeah, like we have said many times, this is our most favorite time of the year, and we love doing these episodes.
Send us suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, we have a list of what we're going to be doing this season.
But if you guys suggest something better, we're going to jump on top of it.
Believe me, we can always pivot. So, pivot.
Oh,
Pivot.
No. See what you did now.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.